Hello, I'm Natalia Lamarchi, and this is Space Chats. In Space Chats, we're talking about the space leader's career. How did they start? How did they evolve? And what is their career advice? And today I'm talking with Diana Pueyo Brochard, who is the head of procurement in Thales, Alenia, Spain. She's also the director of the regional development for women in aerospace Europe. And she's also a member of the space committee of the Engineering Spanish Institute. Hello, Diana.
Hello, Natalia. Thank you for the introduction.
It's great to host you. So, Diana, I would like to ask you first, what do you enjoy the most about the space industry?
Well, there are many very nice things in the space industry. One thing I love is that we really work on challenges of humankind. So we work on challenges regarding communication access of all the parts of the world to be able to communicate with each other. We work on challenges related to science. We work on challenges related to how to help people in cases of disasters. That's really beautiful to be able to contribute to this kind of humankind challenges. Another aspect I really enjoy about the space industry is that what we do is sometimes so difficult that we cannot do it one person on its own. We need to collaborate, many people together from many countries, from many fields. And I've found this fascinating. And another aspect I also really enjoy compared to other industries such as automotive or maybe mobile phones or any industry where you manufacture products is that in space industry, we usually work with prototypes. So for us, a big series, it's very often 3 satellites. And most of the times we work with 1 satellite or 2 of each kind. Okay, now we have the big constellations, but it's not still our main business. And the advantage of this is that we need to be really creative and to learn each time to reuse the knowledge we have from other projects, but still to create a lot. And it makes that it's not boring at all to work in this industry.
This is very true. So we strongly encourage everyone to join the space industry. But Diana, what are you the most proud of?
It's to be able to help people to develop and to give the best version of themselves at work. That's something I'm really proud of in my current role at Thales Alenia Space. And in my role at Women in Aerospace, to have been able to motivate and to help develop the local groups and all the work that all these voluntary people are doing all around Europe, to give them tips and ideas on how to solve their issues. This is also a topic I'm really proud of.
Excellent, fantastic achievement. Where are you living currently, and is the space industry developed in there?
So at this moment, I'm working in Spain, in Madrid area, and in Spain, space industry is developed. Not as much as maybe in France, UK, Germany, or Italy. It's let's say the 5th country within Europe regarding development of space industry. There have been some nice progress in the last years regarding also investment of the Spanish state on the industry, which are positive. But we are still not in the top 2, let's say, countries of Europe. So we are within between regarding development.
I see. And going back to your beginnings, was your first job in the space industry or not?
So my first job was indeed in the space industry, but it was not on purpose. So I was not looking for working in the space industry.
I see. So what was that job, and what do you think helped you to get it?
Well, in fact, the story starts even before I started with my studies, with my engineering studies. When I was finishing so high school, I said, okay, I want to do sciences, I want to do applied sciences, but I don't really know what an engineer does. So I asked around in my social circle, and somebody told me, oh, I know an engineer. Why don't you go and spend a day with him at his work to see what it is about being an engineer? And it was the coincidence that this person was working in space industry. So when I was nearly 18 years old, I spent a full day there. And I said, well, definitely engineering, it's what I want to do. And that's how I discovered. And when I finished my studies, when I was in my last year, I had to do an internship. And I said, okay, let's ask again in this company where I was to see if there is any possibility. And they told me, yes, for sure, you have our internship program. So I applied and I got the position as trainee. And after when I finished my trainee job, they offered me a position in another department, and that's how I started in space business.
That's a great story and a great beginning and a wonderful career. But then, did you have the clearly defined goals straight from the beginning of what do you want to achieve?
Not at all. I have to say that at the beginning, I just wanted to enjoy what I was doing and to learn, which is a big motivation in my life, to still keep on learning and enjoy what I'm doing.
Thanks for sharing that, because it's very important for women to not feel pressured that they have to have clearly defined goals when they start their career. So would you like to share how did your career goals develop and evolve during your career?
Yes, you don't have to have goals in your career, but it's pretty useful to have them, because if you have goals, you know where you want to go, and you put in place or you gather the experience and skills you need to achieve these career goals. Otherwise, it's not so easy to be doing what you would like to do. One thing important to underline regarding career goals is that they can evolve during your career, and you need to be flexible regarding this point. For me, I've been expert during more than 10 years in technical field. So I was my first job was in the engineer in the technology and processes department, and there we were checking if the processes and the materials are able to withstand what they will see during the life of the product. So for example, if the materials will break during the launch due to the vibration, or if the sun is going to damage the materials and when they are outside in space, and they are going to get brittle and not fulfill their function. So I really enjoy this field, and it was great to do this job. I've been doing it in different organizations, and the position has evolved. I got new responsibilities. I was then in charge for 2 sites of the qualification of such processes and materials. And this was a lot of management related skills. I had to function a little bit like a project manager in this. And I discovered then that, wow, technical job was great, but now what I want to do is management. It's what I'm good at and I enjoy, and that's what I want to do now. So that's the first time where I really had a career goal, let's say. And starting there, I've been refining, okay, what I like about management, what kind of position I want to have, and this is how I have defined now what are my career goals.
Brilliant. I think it's a great path. But I'd like to ask, what do you think was your biggest difficulty that you have to overcome to achieve your career goals?
The biggest difficulty, it's for sure to be able to change jobs, I would say, because people find very easy to propose you jobs that you have already done, where you have demonstrated that you were able to do them, but they struggle to propose you things you've not done yet. And this is especially true for women. So studies show that men tend to be evaluated and propose positions for their potential, but women for what they have already been doing. So this change between technical job and management job was very difficult. I had to push a lot and to look for solutions, and at the end it worked out. But that was the biggest challenge. And each time I had to do a switch. So first I moved in management in quality area, and after a little more projects, but always oriented within projects. And now in my last position, I'm managing a team. So again, this step was not easy. And it was thanks to people who gave me the opportunity, who took the risk to offer me this opportunity, that I've been able to evolve in my career. And this is something really, really important for women. And I think we all have as managers a responsibility there, that if you are a manager, you are responsible to give such opportunities to potentials, where there are women or men, to be able to fill the space industry with successful managers.
Certainly, and I hope that managers are also listening to us and will take this advice on board. And Diana, how important do you think is the education and continuous self-development important to achieve your career goals?
Personally, I think education is not such important. I think that attitude is much more important. And in fact, when I'm looking for someone, for hiring someone, I had at the beginning some discussions to say, okay, I don't need an engineer. It can be any other kind of background. What I need is somebody able to do the task and to have the right attitude to learn, to be open to learn, and to face challenges in a positive way, and so on. So for me, education is not so important. The issue is that still with the old style management and what has been done for many, many years, there are some positions where you can only access if you have some titles, some certifications, and that I think everybody needs to be aware of it.
That's true. And also the statistics show that the space industry, the number of women in the space industry is about 20%, which is pretty much the same as 30 years ago. Do you think that the space industry is attractive for women?
I found this question a little weird, but I think it's a little bit in relation as well with a question I got from a student visiting us in Germany when I was working there. She was 18 years old, and she asked me the question, can I have children if I'm working in this company? And I was really shocked. So I was shocked about the question. I was shocked that people at 18 years old are worried about this kind of topic. So the answer is yes, you can have children working in space. You can be a woman working in space, and more and more you will see a woman all around in space. We are still only 20%, it's true, and that's something which is not right, especially if you look at middle management or top management. There is an issue still there. But yes, it's possible to have to be a woman in the space industry, for sure, and it's attractive. I think whether you want to be able to, I don't know, to be speaking many languages, space industry is a great field to do this. Whether you like collaboration and teamwork, if you are not a good team worker, you will struggle within space industry. Whether you like science, whether you like also law, whether you like, there are many jobs and possibilities within the space industry. It's not only technical jobs. So definitely, yes, space industry is also for women.
It's true, I can concur with that. And we encourage many women to join the space industry. It's certainly a fantastic opportunity and very fulfilling. So Diana, what is your contribution to make space industry more diverse and inclusive?
My contribution, I have several contributions. I try to contribute as much as I can in all directions regarding this topic. My contribution in my daily job is to seek for diversity. whether hiring people or also accepting difference and diversity. We don't need to mistake, or it's very important not to mistake ourselves. Diversity and diverse teams are more difficult to handle than non-diverse teams, but the potential you can reach and the solutions you can reach are much larger with a diverse team. And that's why I really promote and push for this. This is in my professional life, and in my association life in Women in Aerospace. I'm contributing to Women in Aerospace now for many years. I grounded the local group in Munich first, and now I'm in the board of directors for many years, promoting regional development. And I try to encourage people and women to dare to apply to jobs. This is an issue we are having very often, whether younger or even older women or more mature in their career. They usually don't apply to a job if they don't fulfill 100% of the requirements of the job, when most of the men apply already if they fulfill 60%. So that's something very important to keep in mind. If you don't apply, you will not get the job, so apply, please. And as well in helping the networking, so to give visibility also to women, because if people don't know you and have not seen you, they cannot think of you and offer you an opportunity. And we are working also on trainings, so on unconscious bias, which is something really important and something we need, unconscious bias to survive as human beings, but we need to be aware of them and how they are making us sometimes not to take the good decisions. So we did last year a dedicated a training program on unconscious bias at Women in Aerospace. And in general, so we try to gather and to promote and to inspire women and men to have a more inclusive environment in our space industry.
I wish everybody would have a boss like you. And to conclude, what is your advice to young women and people that want to join space industry?
All the trainee programs are pretty useful to get a sense of what is space industry and to enter in space industry. And one advice I would give in general in career, not only in space, when people tell you that you cannot do something very often, or that you are not able, or it's not for you, very often they are talking about their own limitations and fears, not about what you really can do or not. So don't believe when people are telling you, because you are a woman, you cannot be an engineer, because you are a woman, you cannot be a boss. It's not true. It's just what they have in their mind and their own limitations. So if you want something, fight for it and find people who will help you and promote you and motivate you in this direction. It's worth it.
It's certainly great advice, and I think Women in Aerospace network will help with that. And also the Universal Aerospace for Women network is a great place to get some advice. Thank you very much, Diana, for these wonderful words.
Thank you, Natalia, for this opportunity to motivate people to enter in space industry, and especially women who are sometimes a little reluctant because they think it's not a place for them.